Los Angeles. It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Excellent.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Derek writes it. He says, Tom, I'm 36 years old and having a hell of a time figuring out women. Every time I meet a woman and we start to date, does this ever happen to you, by the way? Every time, he says, every time I meet a woman and we start to date, she falls in love. I can almost time it. 5 to 6 weeks every time. Now, says Derek, I'm always very honest with my intentions from the beginning of the relationship. I tell them that I am number one. My career and time are precious. I tell them that all I'm looking for is a good time. I'll tell them to keep their expectations to a minimum. Every one of them says they understand and that they are not needy, like most of the women I probably know. Every time, 5 to 6 weeks into it, they fall in love. Then they start getting mad at me for not calling. They get mad at me for wanting my space. They get mad at me for dating other women. Mind you, I've told them from the get-go that these are my intentions. They supposedly understand, but they end up being freaks. Is there a solution? Are there women out there that can understand and handle a man that's honest and true with his intentions? Are they all freaks? Seems like it'd be easier and cheaper to pay for an escort. Signed, Derek. I've known people like this. I've heard this complaint from people. And if I'm honest, although I can't pinpoint the years, it's all a haze to me now. I think I went through a stretch like that where every woman I met fell in love with me. Every one. And let me tell you why I think that happens. Maybe this happens to you and you'd like to tell us about it. Or maybe, ladies, you've met a guy like this. Maybe you think you have it figured out. I'm going to tell you my opinion about this. I believe any time a man says, I don't want a relationship, I don't want anything from you, I just want to have fun, you are a challenge. Women love makeovers. They love turning you around. They love fixing you. They love taking sick little puppies and nursing them to health. They love turning men around. And so when you tell a woman, my career comes first, I'm number one, all I'm looking for is a good time, keep your expectations to a minimum, that's a challenge. Women are feeling challenged. Now they have to have you. Before, they didn't care too much. But once you told them they couldn't have you, then they had to have you. Many times on this program, I've given you lessons on how to get a woman to stop calling you. Here's how you do it. After you've had sex with her, call her 6 times a day. Write her letters telling her that she is the most important person you've ever met. Send flowers, cards, notes. Think of creative, romantic things you can do, like a bottle of wine and a baguette and running up the side of a mountain with a picnic basket. Come up with romantic places to go together. Tell her you want to introduce her to your entire family and every one of your friends because you want everyone to know how special she is. If you want a woman to immediately lose interest, tell her how important she is to you. Because as every guy who's ever been disappointed can tell you, that's the surest way to lose a chick. Women only want you if you've got better things to do than them. They want you when you say, you know what? By the way, did I tell you this story? I have an ex who generally would be relatively astute and used to brag about her ability to evade men's advances. And a guy finally came up to her and said the following, and she said it was so effective she almost fell for it herself. She was this close. First date, she goes out with a guy, and the guy says, you and I are not going to sleep together. And her first thought was, what's wrong with me? Of course, it was all a gimmick. It was a stunt, and it almost worked, and I'll bet it works on a lot of women. You know what? I just want to be friends. That's one way to be sure a woman's going to jump your bones. And if you want a woman to fall in love with you, the best way to get her to fall in love with you is tell her, you're not interested, you got better things to do with your time, your career is very important, don't expect me to answer the phone when you call. That is a guarantee that woman will be all over you like a cheap suit, and vice versa. I know lots of guys, I got a lot of friends who, go out with a woman and they have fun. They're boozing and yakking and groping and sucking face and all that stuff. And then after that, next day, 6:30 a.m., the phone rings. Ring, hello? I thought maybe you'd be up. I'm up. I thought you'd be up. Surest way to drive a woman away. So here's the deal. If you like someone, don't do that. If you want them to go away, have sex with them, and then tell them that you're in love with them immediately, that you want to marry them. I mean, that's what I think that Derek should do. You don't want the women to fall in love with you? Tell them you're in love with them. Tell them you want them to marry you. Tell them you want them to meet your family. Tell them that you want to do romantic things with them every minute of the day. Tell them there aren't enough minutes in the day, that 24 hours a day is not enough. You need more time because they're so important to you. You will chase them away. That's right, Dean. You complete me. Remember Jerry Maguire? You complete me. Tell them stuff like that. They will hightail it right out of there. They will go running. That is the surest way to get chicks to run away. Tell them how much you love them right off the bat. Tell them I know it's only March, but my family is having Thanksgiving dinner, and I'd like you to be there. They will leave. Right?
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800. Tom.
I think women understand how important fellatio is to most men. I don't think they get it.
The Tom Leykis Show. Let's go!
Yeah, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Vanessa, on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Vanessa.
How are you?
Do you care, darling?
Yes, I do. I love you.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Sometime you'll have to show me how much.
Okay. I've been listening to you for 5 years. I adore you.
Really?
Yeah, I have a comment.
All right.
On your topic.
Okay.
You are absolutely right. If it's that easy, we don't want it. That's the first.
And if a guy puts a lot of barriers in your way, then you really, really want it.
Yep. And like this guy in the letter was saying, every woman has fallen in love with him and all this. Right. It wasn't love. It was a challenge. Right off the bat, he's saying, keep your distance. It's just for fun. It's just this. It's just that. That's all kinds of red flags for us to want him, not want him, but the challenge to make him turn around and say, he wants me now. And once we get that attention, we don't want him no more.
So the trick is to turn around and say, you know what, I love you. Right? I've been thinking about it, and I really, really love you.
And you know what, Tom? It happens. It happens. You guys play games, and I understand the whole game thing. It's all a big game. But we do it, too, and we do it better. Yeah. We do it better. We get away with it a lot better. But the whole, the thing about him saying, oh, every single woman has fallen in love. No, well, you're starting out with, this is not serious. I don't want a relationship. I don't want anything. And we're thinking, okay, yeah, right. It's an ego thing for us. It's just the attention. That's it. Once he, turns his way of thinking around, we don't want him no more. We lose interest. We got, we conquered the challenge.
That's why we should never tell you we're interested, ever.
If you don't tell us that you're interested, then we're more aggressive because we want to see that interest from you.
Also, if we want to get rid of you, we should tell you we're interested.
Oh, yeah, especially at the very beginning. At the very, very beginning, like you said, send flowers and do this and do that big turnoff. It's like this guy is crazy.
Teddy bear. Put a teddy bear right there at your front door. You open the door. Oh, look, a teddy bear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No way. I wouldn't even call him. I wouldn't even want to talk to him. That was too easy. Next.
So that's one way to stop women from falling in love.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, love is going to come, and it's going to come when it comes. But, meanwhile, it's just a big game between men and women. That's what it is. It's big head games. And I think that even though, what you teach your listeners, I think it's great because us women, we learn a lot from that too. But we have our own set of, little things that we go by. And I think we play the game a little bit better because they need a teacher and you're great at it, but it just comes natural for us.
Yes. See, I've been a player for a long time, but a lot of my boys out there, well, they just need sex very badly, and they'll do whatever they have to do to get it.
Yeah, and you know what? The whole thing about the booty calls and all that, I don't know. I mean, I've heard your description and what you think a booty call should be about no breakfast and no this and no that. But it's more, a booty call really is more than that. It's no communication at all unless you're coming over or I'm coming over. And
I agree with you. I agree with you.
No phone calls. I don't want to know about your.
But that's how guys ruin a perfectly good booty call is by letting her sleep over, or by breaking down and taking her to breakfast the next morning. Please.
No, there shouldn't be any of that. And as a matter of fact, there shouldn't even be any personal conversation at all. That's the way I see it. It should be, I don't care about your job. I have friends that I can talk to about their jobs or what they're doing or whatever. If I want a boyfriend, I'll just, get a boyfriend and find out about him and whatever. But booty call, I don't care what you do. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care. Just call me when, you want to get busy, or I'll call you, and that's it. End of story. And when it's over, it's over. Everybody go home.
Sounds good to me, Vanessa.
But, Tom, you're right. If it's that easy, we don't want it. And these guys that think that, all these women are falling in love with us, no, we're not falling in love. We just want the challenge is just a big thing for us, We want the attention. And once we get it from you, that's it. We move on to the next attention.
No wonder so many women are so miserable.
I guess, yeah. Yep. But I love you, Tom, and I'll keep listening to you as long as you're on the air. And I will talk to you later.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Okay, Tom, bye.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Jeff on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Tom, I got a problem, but first let me just say you're doing a great job of teaching us guys to be honest jerks. It works.
Yeah, the more honest you are and the more jerky you are, the better.
That's right. It makes our stock value go up. I call it velvet roping yourself. So it works too well, actually. And I've got the same problem that the guy that wrote. And the other problem is that I've tried what you've said. I've tried pulling the reversal on them. But women seem to have a very acute sense of desperation. And I don't think it's that easy to fake. I think they can sense it because I've had them call my bluff twice. What do you do when you go ahead and say, yeah, come on over for Thanksgiving? They say, okay.
Yeah, well, of course, it's only March. By November, lots of things can happen.
Right. They just seem to know that you're not fake. And I don't know. They really seem to have a real acute sense of desperation, and it's a difficult thing to fake. I haven't figured out how to do that. I'm not sure that might work. Maybe it works for some people, but I've actually tried that.
Yeah, I think you have to go over the top. I really do think you have to, call them 6, 7, 8 times a day.
I think
nothing turns a woman off more than you having nothing better to do than talk to them.
I've tried that. It doesn't work. I just think you just have to DTB. That's the only way I know how to get out of it.
Well, then you have to keep finding new bitches. That's the problem.
Exactly. All right, Tom. Blow me up.
Here you go, Jeff. 1-800-5800-TOM. Here's our telephone number. Cubby on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Oh, Tom.
Hello, Cubby.
Well, don't believe Vanessa. She doesn't love you. She's just telling you that because she can't have you.
That's right.
And, well, I have a story, my friend. Had this one chick that was basically on the line. I was doing 3 different chicks at the same time back in my mid-20s. And she wanted me to dump the other chicks, go out with her exclusively. So I end up doing that. Start thinking that, you know, I'm getting later in life, so it's about time that, you know, maybe settle down with the girl, whatever. And so I do that. The day I'm going to move in with her, she wants to not do it. She wants to break up. So I'm hung out to dry. I already left my roommates, and so I had to move in with my sister. So after about 8 months of trying to get her back, didn't work, and find somebody else, I'd say about a month goes by. She wants me back. It's just the biggest joke. So she's calling me, and my new girlfriend, you know, doesn't want anything to do with it, and I finally break down to go see this girl who I haven't seen in months, just to make sure I have no feelings for her. So go to lunch. You know, everything's dead. She starts leaving messages left and right, finds out where I'm living, finds my girlfriend's number, just calling up all the time. So finally I just had to tell her, just, you know, you got to back off. And then finally she did. and then she finds some other guy who just jerks her around constantly, knocks her up. Now she's by herself with a kid. Nobody with her. The guy.
Looks like you ended up the winner.
Oh, pretty much. Now I'm married. Now I'm 35. Married, great marriage. Have a child that's only 15 months and just, you know, doing great.
Good for you, Cubby.
So that's the story. So you got to take me out old school, baby.
All right, Cubby, here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Adam on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
All right, Adam.
Hey, well, I'd just like to comment that the writer is absolutely correct. I'm a bouncer down in Seattle, one of the biggest clubs down there. And you ignore the women, and they just keep coming. And I think that's probably one of the greatest attributes women have to offer in this day and age.
What is that?
The fact that they just want something that they can't have, and I appreciate that.
Right.
And it works out great for me. You know, my black book has filled up quite well lately.
Simply by telling women you're not available or you have somebody else to see or whatever.
Yeah, that or just basically I'm just working. I don't have any time right now. Maybe after it closes, we can get together. But other than that, I'm a really busy person. And
that always works. That's why I tell the boys not to answer the phone, not to answer the phone on the weekend. That's what works.
I just wanted to say that I appreciate them doing that. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I think I agree with you there, Adam. Thank you. It's toll-free here. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Derek says all the women he meets, they all fall in love with him. What's the problem? How can he stop this?
It's the Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. Before we continue with our conversation here, can I just ask a random question? I just saw this on TV again. What is it with beer companies? And we love beer at the Tom Leykis Show, don't get me wrong, but there are these TV commercials for particular brands of beer where they say that their beer is ice cold. Isn't that what happens to it when you put it in the fridge? I saw one particular beer company, and the line of the commercial went like this. They were talking about all the characteristics people wanted in a beer. And they said, you said you wanted your beer ice cold. Done. What do? Send somebody to your house and put it in the fridge for you? I don't understand. Beer isn't cold when you buy it. Generally, it's warm. You go to the supermarket, you pick it up, you put it in the fridge. Then it's cold. Every brand is cold. Put it in the fridge. Is there a brand of beer that if you put it in the fridge, it will not get ice cold? You said you wanted it in the can. Done. You said you wanted a logo on the can. Done. I wanted my beer ice cold. Cold. God. How can one beer claim to be colder than another? It just doesn't make any sense. You want to make your beer colder than another? Put more alcohol in it. Then you can really chill it down. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Why is it that Derek, our letter writer, has women falling in love with him all the time? Every woman he goes out with says, I love you, I love you. How can he stop this? This is Madeline on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Is that a question or a statement?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How's it going?
I don't know, just sitting here doing a radio show.
I always fall in love with those guys. But, it's not because...
What guys? Wait a minute. What guys do you always fall in love with?
Those guys always have better things to do.
Than you?
Well, no. No, they don't have better things to do than me. They're just really busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just fun, typically. They're usually more interesting than guys who are, not busy.
Yeah, the last thing you want is a guy, you dial him up and he answers in half a ring. You want a guy, the only thing you ever hear is his voicemail. You never actually hear him.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I know.
But, you know what usually happens?
What?
Is they do, they get all annoyed because I fall in love with them, and so they don't like that, and then I get over it because if they're not interested, then who cares? And then they want me back later, so it works out.
Yeah, then you reject them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the way it goes.
Yep, I know. So you'll be alone till you're 50. You'll be the cat lady.
I will be?
Yeah, well, you're destined to be. Every guy who wants you, you don't want. Every guy who doesn't want you, you want them.
No, that's not true. I just don't want them, like, a year later.
All right, so who's your boyfriend today?
I don't have a boyfriend or something.
Not surprised.
That's not nice.
I'm being honest. It's not because I don't know if you're attractive or not. That's not why. I don't know what you look like. It's because you just made it really clear. Any guy who wants you.
No, that's not true. It's
any guy who has time for you, you have no time for him. Any guy who has no time for you, you have time for him.
That's not true.
No?
No, I like those guys who are really busy because they're fun, and usually I get along with them really well. And we usually have a good time, and then they get all, well, no, usually they just have a good time, actually.
All right, Madeline. Why,
anyway,
thank you.
Thanks.
All right, take care. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Katie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Hi, Katie.
That girl was a ditz. I'm sorry.
No, boy.
Obviously, they got along real well. I had a question for you. I got this guy that's saying I love you to me, and I've only known him for like 3 months. How do you get rid of those guys?
Tell them you're pregnant.
I've never slept with him.
Tell her you're pregnant by some other guy.
Okay. That actually worked, because this guy is like left roses at my doorstep and calls me from work, and I don't know how he got my
You can't wait to get rid of him. Yeah, I know. But you got to tell him. Tell him you're pregnant.
Okay.
Tell him you're having another guy's baby.
But what if he doesn't leave? Because this guy's, he's like 30 years old, and I'm going to be 19 soon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like wanting kids like really bad.
Oh, he wants kids really bad. Oh, don't tell him you're pregnant then.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. But
tell him you're in love with somebody else.
I've tried that. I had somebody from my work call and act like my psycho boyfriend, and he still won't take the hint.
Well, then the next thing is, I think, a protection order.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then he's a stalker.
Yeah, I was like total stalker status.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was like nuts because I woke up the next day.
By the way, did you say he works in your office?
No, he works at 7-Eleven.
Oh, he's 30 and he works at 7-Eleven.
But he drives a Harley, so I don't know.
Is his name Habib?
No, he's Hispanic.
He's Hispanic.
Yeah.
Okay. He works 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And he's 30.
I had somebody that works at my office, one of my guards. I'm a security supervisor, and one of my guards, I had him call him and act like my jealous boyfriend and to take a hike, and he won't take a hike.
Well, next stop, police department.
Okay, so I just go there and just...
Get a protection order.
What all would that include, do you know?
What does it include? Well, you have to tell them the problem and how often he calls you and has he shown up at your place. And you give the officer all the details, and then they, if they think it's a problem, then they will issue a protection order.
Great. Thank you for your help.
Katie, I'm here to help.
Tom Leykis. Woof. Tom Leykis. Woof. 800 5800 Tom. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking about a listener named Derek who writes in and says that every time he meets a woman and they start to date, she falls in love. She falls in love. Shannon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Not much, Shannon.
All right. Well, first of all, I have a comment. Basically, any woman who willingly falls in love with a man has made it pretty plain and simple from the beginning. They don't want a relationship.
Yeah.
Is asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they deserve any heartache or anything they get from it, because I've gone through that many times myself, where I've just gotten out of a relationship and all I want to do is just have a little fun. And when you tell them right off the bat you don't want anything serious, and the next thing you know, there's a guy just telling you, oh, when am I going to see you again? I can't live without you. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Not what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I know several guys that need to come to your, listen to Leykis 101, because another booty call I had kept wanting me to spend the night.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, you're breaking all the rules here, guy. So, I mean, I'm kind of a guy at heart when it comes down to that kind of
I love chicks who are like guys.
Hey, why not? Guys can do it. Why can't I?
I prefer it.
That's right.
Let's just get down to brass tacks.
Yep.
Then get out and let me sleep by myself. Thank you.
Yeah, do it and get out. Do it good and then get out.
Right.
Thank you.
Exactly.
All right.
I don't want you to look like a guy. That's the only provision.
Oh, yes. I do not look like a guy at all.
Just checking.
But, all right. Thanks, Tom.
Here you go, Shannon. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Eric on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, man. Basically, I think that after years of evolution, women want the caveman. They want some guy that's going to come home with a pound of meat, skull drag him, and take it back to the cave.
Right.
And I got backup for this. All right, I'm a paratrooper for the Army, and nothing worked better. Nothing got a girl more excited than if I was to take her out, let her see me do a jump with 200 pounds of equipment, fall out of the sky, bust myself up, come bleeding, and go take her back to the bar. Every girl this works for.
Yeah.
So I think that all this bullcrap they're talking about, wanting to play games and anything else, forget booty call, forget anything. They want a man that's going to take them by the hand and drag them to the back of the cave.
And then treat them like crap, preferably after that.
Well, look at the ones who are staying with them.
That's right.
All the time. What do you see on Lifetime?
That's
you
right.
You don't see movies about some guy loving some woman. Turn on Lifetime, you go see some woman getting her teeth knocked out.
That's right.
And that's their station.
That's what women love, to be treated like crap.
That's all it is, man. If you give it to them, they'll keep coming back.
I totally agree with you, Eric. Thank you. Lisa, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi. I wanted to say that I totally agree with what Shannon was saying and what that guy was. That Eric or Derek?
Eric. Oh, Derek is the letter writer. Eric was the caller.
Okay. Eric has got a little bit on the ball there and then a little bit of I'm afraid of him kind of thing going on. But what I wanted to say is that I don't think that it's really a gender thing as far as people wanting what they can't have kind of thing. I think it's a society thing, and it's a little bit of a generational thing. Because I have a bunch of girlfriends. We're all very attractive, and we go out. We used to go out. We don't even go out anymore because it's become such a hassle. Right. Because we're all, some of us are 25 and younger, and some of us are in our 30s. I myself am 37. But people always guess me at 22, 23 because I take care of myself and I have good genes and, I'm good. But I have 2 kids and I'm married. And as soon as I got to the point where I wasn't even wearing my wedding ring anymore because I thought, okay, the fact that I'm married is bringing them to me because they think, okay, no strings attached. But that wasn't it. It's just if they come up and I turn them down and I don't even say I'm married, then they want to pursue me more even. And this happens to all of my friends, too, but as soon as my single friends really like a guy, they'll go through everything to try and pursue, especially one of my girlfriends who is just supermodel material. guys will go through everything to pursue her. They see her at the gym. They think she's gorgeous. And then as soon as they have her, they don't want her anymore.
Yeah.
But then when she has him, when she has a guy that is really good to her and treats her amazingly, which she's had a couple, then she doesn't want them.
That's right.
So, and I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't know if it's because I am older, because, I'm mature.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I really don't understand it. I don't understand why people, I've been married now for 9.5 years. My husband's in the military. He's special forces, so he's gone all the time. But I love him. I have 2 great kids. I'm happy, and I don't know why. I think people are looking for happiness in places that they're not going to find it, and maybe that's what the problem is. And a lot of people have problems with self-esteem these days, too. They don't care how gorgeous you are. A lot of people, even if they're a perfectly beautiful man or woman, they feel like they're not. So
I think the more attractive a woman is, the lower her self-esteem.
I think you're right. I think that's very.
That's why I tell guys, don't waste your time with the 5s and 6s. Go right to the 9s and 10s.
That's true. That's very true.
The 5s and 6s are large and in charge, and they're proud of their bulk, and meanwhile the 9s and 10s are all worried if they're a pound too much or a pound too little.
Well, I'm a 9 or 10, so I'm going to say that's not always.
Well, you can't be a 10, dear. You're 37. Maybe you're a 9, but not a 10.
I heard that show too, and that made me laugh so hard. I had tears coming down my face. But no, you'd be surprised. But anyway,
yes, I would be.
Yeah, you would. But anyway, I think that maybe the reason that I'm a 10 is because I am very secure in myself, and I let my insides show. From the inside.
Men don't care about your insides.
I know.
We want access to your insides, but that's it.
Let's be honest. Have you not ever met a beautiful woman who, when she opened her mouth, you thought, boy, she's going down in numbers real quick?
No, here's the deal. Then you wanted to shut up and do you. That's what happens when she opens her mouth and that comes out.
I know, and that comes back to the whole, sex thing where people are pretty much doing booty calls.
By the way, dear, you're calling from Renton. You're not. Are you in Renton?
Well, kind of. I'm actually trying to find parking at Nordy's.
Do you live in Renton?
No, I don't. I live on Fort Lewis.
Fort Lewis.
Yeah.
So do you have an ex who's in the military, or what's the deal there? Are you in the military?
No, my husband's in the military.
Your husband's in the military.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
but if you were 10, you'd be with a guy who makes a lot more than that.
My parents are very wealthy, and I don't believe that brings happiness,
Well, it's easy to say when your parents are subsidizing you.
No, they're not.
Come on.
No, I'm driving a Saturn. Trust me on this one.
Driving a Saturn.
Yeah, I've been through.
How many 10s drive a Saturn? Now, come on. Come on. And live in Washington State, for God's sake.
Well, I will tell you that my husband's in Special Forces, and you can ask anybody, like the guy that called in and said all he has to do is take a woman out and jump out of a plane and scrape himself up a little bit,
That doesn't make you a 10.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with you about what I am, because I know what I am.
Well, next time we're in town, you'll have to come down and prove it.
Well, I think my kids would be.
You're very confident. You said you're very confident. You have very high self-esteem. Well, we'd like to see.
Okay, but can I get to my point?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm starting to think not. No, my point is that people today, I think, are very, very insecure. And I think, like, you look at the show, what's the one with all the plastic surgery things where people can
Nip
come
Tuck.
on and... No, not that one, the reality one, where they actually...
Nip Tuck?
No, Extreme Makeover.
Oh, Extreme Makeover. Huh?
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but, dear, based on that title, I would never, ever tune in.
Okay.
I'm a guy.
It's prime time. I mean, I don't know.
I'm a guy.
Okay.
There's other networks.
What they do is people come in and they write in and they've been made fun of or they feel like they're ugly ducklings all their lives, and they go and they get these plastic surgery all over the place and they get themselves made over. And it's a beautiful thing because they feel great about themselves. But it's a sad thing because that's what people have to do today to feel good about themselves. And then, like you said, though, women that
That's because nobody who makes decent money or looks good wants to be with somebody who looks hideous.
Well, there's something to be said for somebody being attractive, but then becoming more attractive when you talk to them, and they have intelligence, and they have a good personality.
Well, those people are generally physically very unattractive.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Listen, I just got one word for most of these guys out here. Birth control.
I think that's 2 words.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis show. It's Nicole. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, Nicole.
Okay, when it comes to what that girl just said, I don't even remember her name. Whoever she was, when she called in, it has nothing to do with, I'm sure at some point people want to settle down and find the love of their life, yada, yada, yada. But when it's all about dating and either getting laid or whatever, it's all about the trophy. That's all it is adding another notch to your belt buckle.
Women want what they can't have.
Well, no. Women want what they can't have, but so do men. And so whenever you actually achieve whatever you wanted and that you were striving for, you don't want it anymore because, well, you have your trophy. You got it. You proved to yourself and to whoever else, hey, I did it. So,
how sad, isn't it? But that's really, you know what? There's more truth in that than most people want to admit. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.